All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Yeah, in the building. All right. Shalom, welcome to this video. Today is uh April 17th, 2026. The time is 5:13 a.m. So I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all asleep on this side of the coast. As we do before we begin any video, I want to give our praise to the Most High and His Son in the ancient Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, and also honors to our elders over at GMS. Um, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nagwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is a lesson that's been on my spirit for the past few days. Um, Now, there's a debate whether this Artemis 2 mission was real or fake. Which I personally think, they say believe half of what you see, half of what you hear. I believe it was partly fake and partly legit. Dealing with the machinery they sent out into space. But did they send this crew out there? That's up for debate. All right. You got green screen, you got AI, you got ejection modules, et cetera, et cetera. So you never know. That's not my point of this lesson. My point of this lesson is the name Artemis, their plans that they allegedly have over the next till 2030 or 2032. We've heard of Agenda 2030, right? Um, so everything's tying to year 2030, but they're aiming to do something next year that I want to show y'all, all right, or about 2028. All right. But this was called the Artemis 2 mission, which says what? The lunar far side encounter. All right. So this was allegedly them sending a ship or a module out around the moon. They're saying it's the first time a crew went to the moon. All right. So people are like, wait, what happened to the 1970s? Hey, that's up for debate. Did they go? Did they not? Some people say they can't make it past the Van Allen belt, which I think you should do your research instead of just saying it. People should do their research. Could they make it past it? Yeah, it's possible. Um, a lot of people that say it's impossible, they haven't done research. They're just saying it. You know what I'm saying? They can't make it past the Van Allen belt. Trust me, I know. I've been up there. But anyway, in 1969, 1970s, they sent out satellites out there too. All right. And then 1990s, they moved to send what you call the ISS satellite, which is not too far out into the atmosphere, right outside of Earth. And now they're hoping to connect to that ISS. They want a connector to it, and they also want a landing module that's going to be connected to it. All right. So they want a housing unit and they want a landing module. But first, they wanted to send something. However, was it the actual um, NASA employees, these people here, just the pilots, or was it just a machine? I looked on some astronomers pages, right, and they were watching it live, and as they were watching it, they were showing chariots around it and everything from the news sites, from NASA, and a lot of astronomers were pointing it out like those are not. It's not just a ship breaking up. There's objects moving around it, fleets of objects, while it was taking off into space, allegedly. But then you've seen some astronomers looking through their telescopes to see if they can see an object going towards the moon, and they couldn't. All right, and a lot of them got some good cameras where they could spot three-eye atlas and all kind of meteorites, asteroids, but they couldn't see this so-called ship going towards the moon. That's why I said it's up for debate, you know. But my focus is the plans of the serpent. All right. So let's get into it. I want to start with probably this name. All right, the name Artemis. There you go. Let me see if I can find my page to show you. The name Artemis is pagan. Where is it at? And if you go to the scriptures, you're gonna see that. So like I'm just looking for something real quick. Go to Acts 19. Go here. All right, so it says here, I'm gonna show you. Watch this. Mm, Boom. Boom. It says here the Artemis 2 mission patch symbolizes the whole mission, the whole design that they have. Matter of fact, I'm see if I can get a different tab. All right, this right here. This whole design comes from paganism. All right, with the bow and arrow. It's supposed to be the bow. It's supposed to be the arrow, and it's supposed to be shooting past the moon. That's the whole aim of this. Get it like the aim. um, it says the Artemis 2 mission patch or logo symbolizes the first crude flight of the Artemis generation. So they're starting something new. You know, while everybody's looking one way, they're doing something the other way. While you looking at something the other way, they're doing something another way, right? You looking at the Earth Epstein files. Next thing you know, a war break out. When the war break out and people start pointing the finger at them, next thing you know, they go into space. When people start pointing at them going to space, saying it's fake and all this, they go back to the war. It's like getting pulled different ways, man. But this name Artemis basically is pagan. It says here symbolizes the first crewed flight of the Artemis generation, meaning they're continuing this. They want first they want to do a flyby, as they say, going around the moon, and then they want to do um, a, a, um, a landing attempt on the moon, like sending materials out there that can land. And then they want to send the actual crew by 2028. I'm gonna show you. But the Lord gonna, I believe the Lord gonna upset all their plans. All right. Matter of fact, let me get a scripture on deck just in case before I forget it. All right, we about to dive in, man. Job 5:12. All right, con. It says here, the first crewed flight of the Artemis generation, bridging the moon and the Earth. They're trying to build a bridge from the Earth to the moon, right, where they can go back and forth. You know, 1960s, yeah, they were competing and all of that. Did they make it past the Van Allen belt? They had the technology to do it. A lot of people, a lot of Jake in the neighborhoods where we come from, they think they know. They be like, they couldn't do it. They ain't had the technology. Prove it. Show proof that they didn't have the technology to make it past the Van Allen belt. You know, I believe they did. Um, but did they go out there? Nah, that's something else. You know, you got Buzz Aldrin, whose voice you hear on the Apollo mission, and he's saying it himself, like, yeah, y'all thought we went out there. It sounded like it, didn't it? You heard us saying T-1, T-2, landing. He said you heard that, but did you actually see it? That's the thing. All right. So whether they went out there or not, that's not my point. My point is their plans. All right. So now look, it says and it's bridging the moon and the earth together. It features a all, which is ALL, right? Damn, I ain't know that lettering for the mission. Damn, that's probably something too. A red trajectory line representing the path to Mars. Damn, so they're trying to go to Mars. All right. So they literally trying to set their nest among the stars now. You know, but it really started in the 1960s. A blue crescent Earth Artemis bow. Okay, so it's like a bow. Remember that, and it's framed by the Apollo 8 Earthrise photo. All right. So now let me see if I can get to this point. All right. So now let's go here real quick. Check this out. This is something I looked up. Where is it at? I might have to pull it up again. So like I'm gonna pull it up again real fast. Artemis etymology. All right. There you go. Look at this. Basically, the word Artemis is Greek, is a Greek deity of uncertain, likely pre-Greek origin, often associated with safe, uninjured, and wild nature. All right, so they're basically saying they 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 reached a point where they want to be able to send a shuttle out into space to go around the moon and be unharmed by the elements out there in space. All right, that's the nature, uninjured, safe passage around the moon. Diana, whoa, is the Roman counterpart. So the name for Artemis is basically Diana, same word. If you look it up, how do you say Diana in Greek? Or how do you say Diana is Artemis? How you say Artemis, Diana, same shit. Diana is the Roman counterpart, rooted in Proto-Indo-European, the shine or sky. While distinct in origin, Artemis as a hunting maiden and Diana as a fake heavenly light bringer, they were merged, linking the shining idol or goddess, as they say, to the Greek pure maiden. Oh my goodness, what the hell? They kissing ass, ain't they? So, all right, so this is basically the Artemis and Diana is synonymous with each other. It's crazy, ain't it? Let me get this real quick. I'll go to Ephesians 19 real fast. All right, try to read this real quick. It says for Acts. I mean, my bad. Let's go to Acts real quick. All right. Well, there you go. All right, Acts 19 and 24. For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, uh, which made silver shrines for Diana. All right, and that's what they're doing now. That's like a shrine, a dedication to Diana, the idol. Let's see what the Diana is on here. Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't know I was gonna say that. Look, Diana Artemis. Come on, man. Diana Artemis. Same shit. Just said that. Diana, complete light. See, Lucifer, flow, restrained. Artemis, that is to say, the so-called Tauric or Persian or Ephesian Artemis. So that's why I say it goes back, dating back past the Greeks, or it probably goes back to Persians, all of them. The idol of many Asiatic people. Damn. To be distinguished from the Artemis of the Greeks, the sister of Apollo, a very splendid temple was built to her at Ephesus, which was set on fire by Herostratus and reduced to ashes. Good. But afterwards, in the times of Alexander the Great, it was rebuilt in a style of greater magnificence, just like they're trying to do now, paying homage to this Greek idol, Diana. The name of the Grecian goddess borrowed by the Asiatics for one of their deities, Diana. All right, basically Artemis. Sheesh, man. All right, so we're not supposed to be dealing with all that. Let me see what planet. 'Cause all those idols represent planets. Yeah, I forgot to spell planets. God damn. All right, here we go. So the moon. Oh shit. Yo, what the fuck? All right, man. Look, come on, man. I know you see it. I didn't even know that. Let me see. Now we know. All right. I ain't even get into the lesson yet that I wanted. Sheesh. This is Deuteronomy 4 and 19. Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahweh thy power have divided unto all nations under heaven. So all the nations under heaven, they pay homage to the sun, moon, and the stars more than they pay homage or ever pay homage to Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. All right, Diana is an idol, and we're not supposed to deal with none of that. Diana is primarily represented by the moon. Where they kind of go to? The moon. All right. In Roman mythology and astrology, serving as a deity of night, light, and a hunt. They hunting. As for as a tripolis idol, she is associated with the moon phases, symbolizing the cycles of life, death, and her blah blah blah. Right. So the moon. Damn. So Artemis means Diana, and Diana means the moon. And this whole shit with the arrow, you see the bow and arrow? The bow and the arrow. Now when you go back, they got the bow and the arrow. All right, let me show you right here. Hold on, if I can find it. Jeez, I got so many pages opened up. The Artemis bow. If I can't find it, that's all good. But yeah, man, it's a Greek idol dealing with Artemis right in front of everybody's face, and we know that those NASA it just removed the T in Satan. Same thing, just like Santa Claus. All right, they mix around the words. All right, so lucky. Let me see. All right, cool. We off of that. So now let's see something. Ooh, I gotta get this one ready because the Lord calls them Lucifer, man, and they dealing with that whole light bringing, illuminated ones, moving in secret. There you go. Says the Earth crescent blue represents the home planet, emphasizing that we explore to learn more about our home and for all humanity. It also represents the Artemis bow from which the mission's energy is launched. All right, so all of that is part of it. The bow where it's shot from, the actual shuttle, and they tied it into some Greek pagan shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And they're sending it off out into space. All right. Damn, that's deep. Matter of fact, let's start off. Let me get something real quick. I'm gonna get all these scriptures. I'm gonna get this real fast though. Check this out. So let's go back. It says, for a certain man named Demetrius, a silver Acts 19:24, a silversmith which made silver shrines for Diana, for Artemis, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen. I mean, they was getting paid just like now. Whoever crafted this ship and the design and all of that, right, they get paid for that. The LLCs involved, whom he called together with the workmen of light occupation and said, Sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth. Moreover, that's why the Lord said the maker of the idol and the people that worship the idol, they're going to be destroyed together. Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone at Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, as I just read, right? Asiatic idols named Diana or Artemis, this Paul have persuaded and turned away much people, saying that they be no gods which are made with hands. That's right, man. We're not supposed to be dealing with that. They shouldn't even be acknowledging that shit. Just call it a shuttle. They gotta call it Artemis. So that not only this our craft is in danger, but to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised. See that they were so this was a very worshipped demonic idol, you know. So the scripture says nothing new under the sun. Oh no, we just named it that. Nah, man, there's more to it. They have all kind of weird rituals around NASA, satanic rituals, and I think it has something to do with Aleister Crowley too. Helped to establish it, and her magnificence, not magnificence, should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worship. Yo, so this is something serious right now. They're paying homage to this damn deity, you know, secretly too, but out in the open. And when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, Great is of the Ephesians, all right? Saying their name. All right. So you can see, man, how serious this is. All right. And Paul was sent to rebuke them. The people over in Ephesus are, Israelites that were worshiping these idols, paying homage to it. But let me read this last point. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried, Great is that in Ephesians. They probably pissing Paul off hearing about this damn dirty Diana. And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, Yea, ye men of Ephesus, what man is there that knoweth not how that the city of the Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana? That's an idol, man. Ain't nothing great about it. Great in wickedness. And of the image which fell down from Jupiter. See, it's supposed to be like the daughter of Zeus or some shit. Look, right, it's it. Real talk. Look, what was it called? Diana is the daughter of Zeus in pagan mythology, which is basically fake. But see how close this shit is, man. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit. Yes, in classical mythology, Diana, the Roman equivalent of the idol Artemis, is the daughter of Jupiter, Zeus, in Greek mythology. Come on, man. All right. Come on. It's right in the scriptures. The Lord warns us about all this. Diana of the image which fell down from Zeus. That's what they're into. Jesus, which is goes back to Baal. All right. It was basically saying that Diana shit came from Baalium, which is amongst those idols. All right. So, sheesh, that's a dark path right there, ain't it? So you see how demonic it is, man. Diana, Artemis, Zeus, Jupiter, whatever. People worshiping it, but they're making it seem like it's nothing, right? Symbolisms, Masons. That's what they're into. Symbolisms. All right. Oh, kind. That's gonna be a whole nother topic. But anyway, let's go into this real quick. Let me see where I want to start at. Let's go back over here. Share this. All right. So the Artemis 2. now we know. Now we know what these Dianians are up to. Right. Artemis 2, lunar far side encounter. Now, I was watching this guy here, um, Ray's Astronomy. You know, him and Dobsonian Power, they like my favorite two to watch. But him, I get a little iffy about, because his telescope's not as advanced as the other guy, Dobsonian Power, and they kind of be hating on each other. You got to watch both of them. They be throwing little jabs at each other, man. But he showed their what was it 10-point or plan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, they got a 9-stage plan that we're witnessing and don't even know it. All right, that's why I said it's just the beginning of their plan. All right, hold on, let me see. Get a scripture. This is Psalms 37:7. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right. All right. So they can do all this flaunting and dreaming. Yeah, we're gonna come out with robots. We're gonna come out with this. We're gonna do this in 2020, 30, and we're gonna be on the moon. We're gonna have bases. And man, y'all starting war on Earth. What are you talking about? World War III. All right. And we're looking for salvation in this right here. Let me go to Second Peter's 3:13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, according to the Lord's promise, we look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. All right. So we're looking to us not being on the bottom no more and them going to the damn stars. They sheesh. You lift their ass up, they taking off. All right. They all the way out in damn space. Far beyond the pride of uh what's his name? Nimrod. All right. Built his tried to set his nest among the stars. All right, building that Tower of Babel. But check this out, man. I might have to break this into a few lessons. But Artemis program timeline: return to the moon, lunar base, Mars preparation. See, they're trying to go to Mars. They're really setting their nest among the stars now. All right. 2022, Artemis 1 uncrewed test. That's when they sent out the Orion. They sent out Orion's like this is Orion right here. Let me show you if I got it. If I got it. Do I got the Orion on there? I guess I ain't got Orion on here no more. But Orion is basically a shuttle, for them to rest to sleep in. All right, Orion. It's like a teleportation. Artemis. This is the Orion. All right. So this is what we saw them. They shot this out there first without the people in it, and now they allegedly shot this out into space with a crew in it. All right, allegedly. Let's go back here. All right. So now Artemis program timeline. That was the Artemis one. So they making all these moves, and we wouldn't even know it, man. It's crazy, right? 2026 Artemis 2. That's what we see now. And they're just like, yeah, we just sending some people around the moon. Got the so-called black man in there. The first ones go out there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. They made it back real quick. No, they. This is a plan. This is the beginning of what they're trying to do. But we know. Let me get this real quick. This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined. See, the Lord got his days determined that Esau, uh, how long they're gonna rule. All right. So it don't matter what their plans is. When that light come on in the club, everybody gotta get the hell out. I don't care who you dancing with. You ain't finished your drink. You in the bathroom. You gotta get the hell out. All right. Meeting shorty at the bar in 5 minutes. Well, lights on. Club shut down. Gotta go. When the lights cut on, all the roaches gonna scatter, and the Lord gonna shut down the damn party when He shows up. All right. Like the damn I forgot who that is. The fire people that come in at night if it's too many over capacitated in the damn club or some shit like they used to be when I was younger. You're over the limit. Some people gotta go. Everybody get the hell out. All right. So when the Lord show up, he got a limit to how far these devils can go, how long they're gonna rule. The number of his months are determined are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, right? How far he can go out into space, how long he can rule, what he can and can't do in war, right? All right. So they got all these plans they flaunting in our face. But they say, here you go. Get this real quick. What they should have up there is there's it at? Where is it at? James 4:15. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. Right? It says here, um, for that ye ought to, right? But here you go, verse 14. No, 13. Go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and gain. Like right now, they're saying they're going into space 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030. We're going to be ruling and we're going to dominate space and we're never letting go of space again. Watch this. Think I'm joking? Watch, I'm going to show you. Here you go. Watch this. Can I go to it? There you go. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike for this, man. This is fair use. But I want to play something from his video. Watch Esau talking. Man, he be playing music in the background. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike. Let me speed it up a little bit or something. All right, there you go. Let's see.
And every year, maybe even more than once a year, we'll be going to the moon. We are building a huge moon base there. To set the stage right, I wanted to play this video. This is where the NASA administrator introduced the crew back.
Families here on Earth.
All right, so this is when they introduced the crew when they came back. All right, and now watch this devil speaking, man. All right, forget them. They just pawns, just like the rappers in the music industry. They running the show right here. All right, whoever grips the podium is running the show. But check this out. It says here. Let's go.
And those that were watching over you from the stars. Artemis 2 is the opening act in America's return to the moon. As we stand here this evening, the mobile launcher is preparing to go back to the VAB. Artemis 3 will start being assembled, and the next crew will begin preparing to play their part. As we return to the lunar surface, we build the base, and we never give up the moon again.
Heard that? He said they said they're gonna do this over years, and they're gonna build on the moon, and they're never gonna give up the moon again. What?
Artemis 3 will start being assembled, and the next crew will begin preparing to play their part. As we return to the lunar surface, we build the base, and we never give up the moon again.
Now we know the scriptures say they enlarge their desires as hell. So there's nothing good about them venturing off into space towards the moon. So this is their plan.
You're one.
All right. That's their plan. Is to try to take over the moon.
We will never give up the moon again. I think that is the fever that is now out there, that we may be losing the moon and we should not give up the moon again.
He said that's the fever that they're all under. Everybody bugging, right? Because the scriptures say that they cannot be satisfied. It's like a fever. They just got to control. They got to dominate. They got to expand. They got to innovate. Got to go out in space. You know, they've always been that way. Since their vengeance towards Jacob, you know, Esau. All right. So you heard it. That's their plan, to go out into space. And send, you know, if the Lord wasn't showing up, they'd plan on sending our children and everybody out into space and living on a damn shuttle. This is their dream, to live on a shuttle, and be able to come back to the earth and live on a shuttle, you know, back and forth. All right. Permanent residence out in space. Look, check this out, man. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:14. For the hope of the ungodly, their dreams and hopes that they're going to do this, is like the dust. Right? Where they say the serpent's going to dwell in, the dust. That is blown away with the wind. And the destruction hits. All their plans, man. Even NASA is going to be. The scriptures say the whole land is going to be decimated. I think NASA's down here in Florida. All right, they said it's going to be a lake of fire. So we're having all their plans. They said all the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. Here today, going tomorrow. So imagine that, man. We in real soon, the power gonna be snatched from them, and we're gonna like, damn, where is he? He was just building all this shit. They had NASA and rockets, and we was living in their nightmare, or their dream was our nightmare. You know, they had all these plans and bombs dropping, and it's just next thing you know, we're gonna have birds. And Esau in slavery. What the? Right. So Artemis 2, Now we're at Artemis 2, the crude lunar flyby. All right. That's what we allegedly witnessed. You know, this science is basically Hollywood. First crewed mission around the moon, 4 astronauts, 10-day mission. So now next year, we're going to be hearing about this one. Artemis 3, first human landing. First humans land near lunar south pole. All right. Why are they saying first? They meaning like the first of this mission. All right. Whether they went there or not in the 70s, they're not talking about that. They're talking about this one. All right. The first on this mission. And it's going to be like 2 people they plan on sending out there. All right. First they send the technology, then they send the crew, then they send 2 people. All right. Next year to actually land on the moon. First humans land near lunar south pole. That's them setting their nest among the stars. 2 astronauts, Starship HLS, meaning landing. L is for landing mechanism, landing system. 6 to 5 day surface mission. So they went plan on being on the moon for 7 days next year. But what did the Lord, what did the Lord say, man? I'm gonna get it on my phone so it'll be quicker. All right, it's deep, man. All right. He said their hope is as the dust, right? Check this out. Obadiah 1 and 4. Um, no, let's go to because it's just John is on point. It speaks about the mindset of Edom because this is not the beginning of. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of Edom, Idumea, Edom, ancient picture of kingdom. If I can get one. Now we know. Hold up, Petra. We know about. Let me get one with a good view of it. Right. So they had a vast kingdom in the caves. It was called the Kingdom of Idumea. I'll play this one. I'll show this one. All right, we know about this one, but it was actually on a plateau as well. I'm gonna show you. Trying to find that one. There you go. Damn, a better one. Edomite kingdom. All right, and they built their kingdom. Let me see. Can I walls? All right. They built their kingdom up with the walls extremely high. They lived up on a plateau. All right. I don't know if y'all can see it right here to the right. Right here. This is on top of that. They had their kingdom set up too. They set it up real high, and they had the crevices of the rocks to protect them. Right, the surroundings to protect them. They always had that mindset. Set up something real high. Habakkuk chapter 2. Bring all the other nations low. Be surrounded and protected by the mountain ranges around them from Moab and other nations. Right, and they try to set their habitation up on high. So that's what this scripture was initially start talking about. 1926 BC when Esau moved into Edom. All right, and they started establishing their kingdom. That was 1926 BC. Um, the Lord said, though they exalt themselves as the eagle, they went from this. Think about it. They went from this to this. All my niggas that be living it up. Hey, they living it up, boy. Literally. So they went all the way from this. That's not them walking in the background if you think so. That's not them. But the term Edomites is just saying this is their area. Can't call them animals. All right. So this was Petra. We know about Petra with the Nabateans. I mean, I forgot I got to do a lesson on that. The Nabateans, the Arab nations ran them up out of here, took over um, around 585 BC, which was during our exile. All right. So they ran us up out of there. I mean, they ran Edom up out of there, and Edom ran into our land. Okay. But yeah, look at it. High and lifted up kingdom. They built crevices in the caves, man. Okay. So they went from that. All right. Look at this. So they went from all this to now this. All right. So let's read it. Obadiah 1 and 1. It says here, the vision of Obadiah, saith Yahweh, power concerning Edom. All right. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathens. Arise, ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. All right. So the prophet is sent to tell the other nations to rise up, tell the world to rise up to this serpent in battle. All right. Because that was the prophecy, wasn't it? Didn't it say that? Uh, the Lord pointed out Cain and Abel, and he said Cain was going to be a vagabond upon the earth. And what did he say about the serpent? Let me get that real quick. Hold on. Where is that? Let's go to Genesis 4 and 3, or 3 and 14. I mean, real quick. Genesis 3 and 14. It says, and Yahweh power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. That's why he cursed Edom, said no repentance. Upon thy belly shalt thou go. Meaning they're gonna be brought down. Okay, how high they lifted up and exalted, the Lord gonna bring them down. All right. As their plan, their plans is for them to rule. They don't want us. See how they got that one little token YN in the midst. They ain't worrying about us, bro. They gonna get you up. They'll probably allow you, but not all of us. Um, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life, man. So the Lord said, even though this nation came out from the caves and lifted themselves up, the scripture said there's no secret they can hide from thee. The Lord put it in their minds to be those technocrats, Bill Gates and all them. Even though all of that, the Lord said, what? On thy belly shalt thou go. They're going to be brought down, humiliated, ultimately. Their destiny is to be as low in at enmity with humanity. You know, all the nations gonna come against Edom. This was the curse the Lord put on them. All right, extreme degradation. Meaning they're gonna be, even though they're lifted up and exalted, they're gonna be degraded and subjugated and humiliated, as we're seeing, and be demoted. All right. So Lord said, "What? Let's go back to Obadiah. Go to Obadiah. Where was I? Obadiah 1. Obadiah 1 and 1. It says, And two, behold, and one, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh, power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So the Lord is rising up all these nations against Edom, and even us in the day when the Lord returns. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathens. All right. So their inheritance is going to be nothing in the kingdom. Thou art greatly despised. It's like the serpent. That goes back to what we just said. The serpent was going to be at enmity with her seed, basically with the whole world. And the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. See, the pride of thine heart, their dreams. We're going to go from here to the moon, Alice. Remember that? To the moon, Alice. Man, pull it up. Alice in Wonderland, ain't it? All right there, man. Symbolisms. Remember that? To the moon, Alice. Where you going? Esau? To the moon, Alice. Right? They kept pumping that out in our heads, our minds growing up. Well, it was a point before my time, but I saw when they kept playing it over and over again, the reruns. It says, "Behold, I have made thee. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high." Right? And it's really going back to this. All right, they had their kingdom built on a plateau. I can't find a picture of the plateau. If y'all want to try it out, you can go on ChatGPT maybe and have it type up description of the kingdom of Edom, how it looked back then, and it's literally built on a plateau. All right, this right here. Hold up, I'm gonna show you again. It was built on this area right here on the right. Jeez, I'm gonna go to it right there. All right, this is where it used to be. Then on the side of that, you have Petra and all that. But above it, They had it up here. So you had to go through hell to get up there and fight them. And they had canyons surrounding them, just like today. Uh, the horde lifted up upon the scarlet colored beast, setting their habitation high, surrounded by waters, which is her rampart, thinking that that's her safety. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high. Whose habitation is high. Right? You gotta be the first ones in space. We the ones that did it. All this, right? Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Well, we just read in Genesis, this was from the beginning. The Lord said he prophesied their end from the beginning, you know, that they were going to dwell in the dust. And though the serpent lift up his head, it was still going to be cast down to the ground at some point. His destiny is to still be on that ground, all right? And be at enmity with humanity. Um, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. We know that's the symbol of the eagle, right? And they're trying to go out into space, exalting themselves. Who's exalting themselves? We know Edom, but check this out. Who's the main one pushing this concept right now? Find it. The Artemis program or the Diana program. The Artemis program is a moon exploration program led by none other than Babylon. All right. So they're the ones trying to exalt themselves. A space administration NASA, aimed at returning humans to the moon for the first time since Apollo 17 in 1972, which was alleged, right? Um, it was formally established. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Now, to the moon, Alice, right? They look at that as their launch point to go to further planets, the moon. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, right? And though thou set thy nest among the stars, as we just read with Apollo, and even now, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Now check this out right here. I gotta make this quick, so I don't want to pass an hour. I'm gonna cut the video in half. Yo, this is their plan to set up a nest among the stars. All right. Even when you look at the ISS or these other stations that they have out there, they look like stars flying around. So by 2027, next year, they're trying to land on the moon. By 2028, they want to set up the gateway assembly begins, meaning they're basically starting over again. Like in 2022, they sent out the equipment. 2028, they're gonna send out the equipment, right? But they want it to be Halo and landing modules, which would be like Halo would be like a housing unit. Housing unit. I'm gonna show you. This is the HLS that they keep talking about. The HLS are spacecraft developed for the NASA-led Artemis program to land astronauts on the moon. So now, say when knowledge is increased, we in that time, they actually got equipment that could pull them towards the moon instead of just going around it. HLS vehicles are designed to transport crews, people from lunar orbit to the lunar surface instead of going in orbit around it to transfer them to the surface. Support them during surface operations and return them to lunar orbit again so they can reconnect with Orion and then they get sent back. All right. Two HLS designs are currently in development: SpaceX's Starship HLS, which they're competing over, and Blue Origin's Blue Moon Mark II. So they're all competing to see who's going to set up this nest out in space. Think it's not a nest? Watch this. I'm going to show you something. All right. This is one of their models of it. This is the idea of the gateway. I'm about to show you something crazy. Watch this. This is this is another example of it. All right. I don't know if I showed y'all this one, if I pushed the button or not. So they want people to actually live on this at some point. Have it connect, and then they live on it and be able to go to the moon, launch off again, connect back to it, and this thing uh, comes back to the Earth. It's allegedly, or they keep going to this and then go to that, go to this and then go to that, go back to the Earth. See, they want this to be a bridge or what you would call a gateway, lunar space station. They want this to be stationed in space. Then they want to build an actual base on the moon. All right, so this can be a little confusing. But right here, look, PPE, Halo, going around. We just witnessed that, allegedly, going around the moon, right? This is a little confusing. Jeez. But anyway, right here, they want to land two people on the moon. Then they want to set up a halo to what it's right here, so they can connect back and forth. All right. So now let's go to the next one. This is their plan. Lord ain't having that, man. He made that for us out there. He said he created many mansions out in our Father's house. That's his house. All right, this is their dream. Where's that one at? It says here, check this out. This is called the nest. Where is that John at? There you go. Look at this, yo. Check this out. Stark Enterprises. But it's called the Axiom Space Nest. They wanted to look like this on the inside. That's how it looks. They wanted to be like this is the womb or the nest, and then we're reborn into space. That's what Yahweh Shai is gonna do. Um, here you go. The scripture real quick. One second. Brain glitching. Hold on. I just said though, the chambers. Yeah, I don't want to get too far off track. Indignation. Isaiah 26 and 20. It says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers," which is going to be the chariots of the Lord. That's our. Those are going to be our nest out in space. It's going to be our bridge to space. It's going to be those chariots. Now we see, right, a landing point between us and those planets. That's why the Lord called it apartment chambers. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers or apartments or brothels, and shut thy doors about thee. All right. Hide thyself. So he said, die. So it's going to belong to us. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed, the destruction, the missiles hit. This passage, okay, so now that's it. All right. So, and those chambers are those chariots, kind of like what they're trying to build, right? It says axioms, space stations, crew, quarter, habitation, module, axiom, space. And they're trying to get this up by next year, along with sending 2 astronauts out there. Guided by the vision, watch this, check this out, man. This is crazy. Guided by the vision of a thriving home in space that benefits every human. So they want a home in space that could benefit the humans, right? Allegedly. Now, since when have you known them to build shit that can benefit humans? You can't even get a house on in America without overpaying taxes and mortgages and shit, and overpopulated, homeless. Won't even let migrants in. He told us it's going to benefit humans. Yeah, okay. Guided by the vision of a thriving home in space that benefits every human, everybody, everywhere. That's how you know they lying right there. Axiom Space is building and operating the world's first commercial space station to improve life on Earth and foster possibilities beyond it. NASA selected Axiom in January 2020, 6 years ago, to attach its privately developed modules to the ISS. See that? The ISS is already out there. They sent that up in the early 2000s, and now they want to send a module or a connector or a nest to connect to it, and so they can live out there. All right. So NASA. There you go. Look at this. Look. Philip Stark was asked by Axiom to create the crew quarters, which are inside the habitation module for the Axiom space station. Stark's vision was to create I know you just said it in your head, a nest. Stark's vision was to create a nest, a comfortable and friendly egg, which would feature materials and colors stemming from a fetal universe. meaning like you're born out into space now. It went to like the womb, right here. Like what? A nest. It's called Stark and Axiom Space Station. Right? You heard it here first. Stark's vision was to create a nest, a comfortable and friendly egg, which would feature materials and colors stemming from a fetal universe. The walls are sprinkled with hundreds of nano LEDs, which with changing colors as a continuation view to the view of the universe through the large windows. See, and the Lord said we're gonna be able to do that. We're gonna see the destruction through the large windows on the chariots, and we're gonna be reborn from our nest in the heavens back onto the earth, born from the heavens instead of born from the womb. Just as all the shades of light and colors of day and night, the egg will also live to the mood and biorhythm of its osmotic inhabitant. So yeah, man, they're trying to build what? Stark's vision was to create a nest. And they're doing it. They're going with it. They're trying to um, connect it to the ISS. Look, Axiom Space wins NASA's approval for construction of the commercial space station on ISS. There you go. The human dream of universal access to living and working in space has drawn one step closer. NASA has selected Axiom Space for access to the International Space Station's Node 2 forward port. All right, so basically they're trying to build that nest. And when they're trying to do it, by next year. They're trying to get it out there by next year. All right, I don't want to read all this right now. But they're trying to build a habitable volume station, and they want it to be free flying, floating, around as a platform. And they want universal access to living and working in space. When they can't even get along on the Earth, the hell they talking about? So yeah, that's it right here though. It's called the nest. Let's read that again. It says here, the Stark's vision was to create a nest. Obadiah 1 and 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, we know that's the Roman symbol, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So we in that time where the Lord is about to bring them down. Like we witness this right here. Hold up, I'm gonna show you. What is that? What is that? Let's go to there you go. Second Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed. See, they're being revealed that they're the wicked, right? With all their plans. Also, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. So we're here playing a part in that as his mouthpiece, consuming all their lies, prophesying against this place, even though they don't like it. But what did the Lord tell Ezekiel? Prophesy against it. What did the Lord tell Ezekiel with Gog and Magog? Prophesy against it. Every time he told him to prophesy against it. That's him destroying it with the spirit of his mouth. All right. And he said, if we have faith as small as a mustard seed, we could speak to this mountain and tell it to be cast into the sea, to go back where it came from, fall, and it would do so. So the Lord built up our faith. We went out and we prophesied against it. We're still doing it, just like marching around Jericho until the Lord stops it. Um, and so we're consuming this place with the spirit of the Lord's mouth, with his spirit. But then he's going to destroy it with the brightness of his coming, destroy all their plans. All right. And this is a righteous thing, man. Because what they're doing is wickedness. Um, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, of his glory. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Who is Satan? The serpent. What does scripture say? Let's go there real quick. Revelation 12. No, 20, yeah, 12. Revelation 12. All right, let's go there real quick. Same serpent. The Lord tracked him down. He said, "Thou art also caught, found, and also caught." He found your ass. Um, let's go to Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. So that's the elect and the angels in heaven. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And we've been seeing that, right? We've been seeing that from Trump, you know, coming down with great wrath, right? Turning point. So they're coming down with great wrath. Where is it at? And they got to do all of this um, technology. You know, the Lord ain't letting them go out there. That's for us to explore. He said, "Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven." So these bodies got to be changed. We're gonna be given new spacesuits, you know, for our spirit. But Esau's coming down with great wrath. We're seeing that. I'm trying to find this picture. Got so many windows open. Goodness. All right, coming down with great wrath because he knoweth that he have but a short time. We're seeing that. All right, especially since with China and Russia getting involved now, he definitely only got a short time, and the rest of his constituents. Woe to the inhabitants of earth and of the sea, World War III. For the devil is coming down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. But whoa, he only got a short time. What's up with all these plans he got? They probably know it's till about 2030. They probably got their plans set to that. All right. Um. All right. So it says, um, there you go. Revelation 12 and 7. This is what they really setting up for. And there was war in heaven. All right. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. So that's Esau, the dragon, the Roman Empire. Right. Um. So they're getting ready for a space war. Right. You know, the U.S. has their own space fleet. They said space is now a domain for war. All right. U.S. Space Command. Let's open this one here. You know, Captain Picard ain't gonna be on there. Okay, all of this is vanity. You think it's gonna last forever? It's all vanity. You know, they think they're gonna own the earth and guard the earth. No. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The scriptures also say the Lord giveth and the Lord can take away. You ain't gonna keep forever. We can't even keep these spirits forever until the Lord say so. He said, "My spirit shall not always dwell with thee. I gave it to you. I'm taking it back." All right. So let's go to. So yeah, this is their plan. Artemis, which means Diana. They want to land on the moon, but the Lord said from thence He's going to bring them down. All right. Since they first attempted it in the 1960s, it was 1970 or 1972, the Lord has been bringing them down spiritually. You know, um, a downward spiral, right? But now he's about to destroy them physically. You got this dude calling himself the Messiah, Trump. You got them trying to go out into space with pagan idol names. Right? You on Earth naming planets pagan names, but now you sending spacecraft out there in the space with pagan names on it, idols. Diana, crazy, bro. They playing with fire. 2029, they want to send. They want a second moon landing, more surface operations. They want to send more technology out there, advancing lunar science, additional gateway, and expansion. Now, look, 2029, basically to 2030. This is the point. All right. So, their goal is 2030. We know about Agenda 2030, New World Order. So everything is moving towards that. But the Lord said, um, let me get this. Uh, this is Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands or their powers that's in their hands, their technology, their money, or whatever, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So then they're not going to complete it. All right. When they go to fill their belly, that's when the Lord going to rain fire upon them on the earth. So they go out into space, try to set their nest among the stars. That's when the Lord going to bring them down. See, they got full control over their boundaries, so that Jacob can receive his blessing. All right. So this is all their vision board. All right. So expected 2028, they want to land people actually on the moon, expanding the gateway, et cetera, et cetera. Create more lunar missions back and forth. This is a example what we just allegedly witnessed. The craft flew allegedly around the moon and then came back, landed on the Earth. This one they want to go out there again and set up technology. 2028, right here, they want to launch all the technology and um, some pilots and actually land them on the moon with the HLS system. Lord, they gonna bring their ass down from there. All right, get this real quick. So yeah, man, he said the serpent, thou shalt always do it. Their destiny is to be brought low. All right, though thou set thy nest among the stars, they ultimately gonna be brought down. Say if Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, Revelations already brought. No, I was actually yesterday gonna be Satan fought and his angels, right? And it says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, basically Edom, scarlet colored beast, and the dragon in the U.S. and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. All right, in rulership and in space, they ain't gonna have nowhere to go. You're not allowed out here no more. Playing around on the playing in the dirt on the rock, out there playing. The Lord like, nah, it's a wrap. You did all that for nothing. All right, put your toys up, go to your room. Stop dreaming. All right. Let me see. I'm just deleting some of these windows I got open. crazy the pride they showing, man. All this Diana stuff. All right, delete that one. I might keep this one. I'll keep it on this one for a second. All right, yeah. So they're trying to set up a nest. They had something called the Research Impact Earth Benefit. It said rodent research standard housing mission is a critical multidisciplinary experiment designed to assess and improve translation of NASA rodent spaceflight studies with the goal they probably sent rodents out there just now anyway of informing crew health on long duration missions. This will be accomplished by providing evidence to help define the role of a physical structure or a nest box and supporting aspects of the health and welfare in space and determine whether provisions of the nest box limits the study of certain scientific disciplines. They setting up nests out there in the space, man. They starting to use those terminologies now, the nest. All right. And it started with this guy named Philip Stark. Designer and architects such as Philip Stark have specifically described future habitated modules in space like those planned for the Axiom commercial space station as a nest or a comfortable and friendly egg in zero gravity, just like in the womb. Esau think he God, man. I'm telling you. Axiom space has secured significant funding, including 350 million of our tax money in 2026 to accelerate the development of the station and next generation space suits. We ain't gonna need no space suits. All right. The Lord said what? He gonna give us new bodies. So yeah, man, don't forget this, man. The nest. Let's share this one again before I delete it. All right. Philip Stark built this. Stark Enterprises. Not the Iron Man, but the Lion Man. Lying all the damn time. So when are they plan on doing this? It says Axiom is developing a commercial space station with the first module, payload power thermal module, currently scheduled to launch and dock with the ISS no earlier than 2027. Look, I ain't lying to you. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. So they planning a lot in 2027 and 2028. The station will initially attach to the ISS before becoming a free flying independent station now planned for around 2028. Mm, it's like other plans they have. 2028. All right. So they're really trying to set their nest among the stars right now. So we should be looking for the Lord to bring them down soon. Yeah, he said you ain't supposed to be going past the gun line. They going past the gun line, boss. All right. So don't forget they using Artemis. Goes back to paganism. The bow and the arrow, right? The bow. That goes back to dealing with the moon, or also this uh right here, Dirty Diana, the idol of Rome, and Zeus and all that madness. Apollo, twin sister of Apollo, the Apollo trip, 1970s. Apollo, come on, man, twin sister. They gonna name one Leto probably. I don't know. Hera maybe next year. Apollo, Zeus, and Diana. Look at that. Damn. Look at this. Yeah, just Madness, man. So they're paying homage to that with this right here. All right. So the Lord said they're not going to prevail. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. All right. Going all the way back to the serpent, which deceiveth the whole world, who was cast out into the earth, according to prophecy in Genesis. They're going to always be as a serpent. That's their destiny to be cast back into the earth. That's where a serpent belongs. All right. And his angels were cast out with him. All right. So now, okay. So yeah, man. Let me see. I want to get a scripture real quick. So they got all these plans, but the Most High got other plans for them. You're gonna say, I think you'll be more useful in the caves. You know. All right. Here you go. Let me just go here real quick. So that was get this one. Job. I already read Job, didn't I? 5 and 12. Yeah, Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices or imaginations of the crafty, of the serpent, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They're gonna fall on their face. All right. Isaiah 26. I'm running through these scriptures real quick. Isaiah 26 and 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. Our chambers are the chariots of the Lord. Shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. It what indignation? Look, this indignation right here. 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. It's gonna catch all these people off guard. All their plans and dreams that they got, the Lord gonna cut it short. So we should be looking for and hastening unto the coming of the Lord's day, his kingdom, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the spaceships too, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Right? And if they try to fly out into space, the scriptures say they're gonna fall like fig leaves to the earth. You know, all that shit gonna come down. There's not gonna be any place found for them in the heavens. All right, nowhere to run. Matter of fact, uh, Amos 9 and 12. I mean 9 and 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. All right, so the Lord gonna send His holy angels and the elect to go in there and grab them out of those bunkers they're gonna be hiding in the earth. You know, the ones that make it through it overseas, you know, in Europe, allegedly. You know, wherever they're at in the world. You know, here you go in the bunker, you're gonna be cooked. You're going into the oven, the deep part of the oven too. All right, where you put the tendonism at. Says though they climb up to heaven. See, and that time they're gonna be like, let's get up out of here, jump on our rocket. Let's go to let's go to our shuttle. That's gonna be them. Look, all these rockets shooting off. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Let's say you ain't got nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. All right. So you know, they're trying to set up their escape routes. First Corinthians. Do I want this one right now? No, I don't want this right now. No, I don't want this right now. All right, so yeah, man. Wicked revealed. I'm good on that one. All right, make sure I ain't forgetting those scriptures real quick. There you go. Read this one real quick. Matthews 21 and 21. Yahushua answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do to this which is done to the fig tree, right? When the Lord spoke against that fig tree, it lost all its leaves, because it didn't bear any fruit. So when the Lord tells us to go and prophesy against the place, yeah, same thing is happening. All right. So he's destroying this place with the spirit of his mouth. All their plans or whatever, we're speaking against it. All their lies, we're speaking against it. We're here to fight the spiritual battle, all right, to tear down strongholds. So we're doing that in the spiritual realm, whether we know it or not. Um, it says the same way he did to the fig tree, but also if ye shall say unto this mountain or this government, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. In all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. Right. So we want that. We want to go out into space. We want all the planets, explore it. We don't want to be calling the shit Mars and all these pagan idols, man. We gonna call them by their true Hebrew names. I may do a lesson on that. They all got Hebrew names. I wrote them down about 4 years ago. Just never did a lesson on it. Some knowledge you don't have to put out there immediately. You know, Lord gotta be able to trust you with it. He can trust you with that. He'll trust you with spiritual power too. Someday, you know. Receive. Okay, that's what I want. Let's get this real quick. I'm gonna end it with this one. John 14 and 2. All right. Uh, John 14 and 2. And that's where they want to go. They want to go out to the stars, man. All right. Which I still think that's the most high right there. That's just me. If you go back and find this, the first image is from we have that thing called. But then you have the Hubble, then you have the one after that. And this the first image. They said, this the image of God himself. Got big beard, white, a big woolly beard, arm right there, and huge, bigger than the stars. Look, galaxies around them. But Esau want to go out there into space to the moon, Alice. That's their dream. But this is made for us. We're gonna explore that. We're gonna have eternity to enjoy all of this beauty right there. Look at that. We don't know what that is. You know. Um, get that real quick, man. Look at this. That's funny. This is First Corinthians 2 and 9. Because you ain't, yeah, though these devils want to see it, they can't. They got eyes, meaning their technology full of eyes. He said, "There's no secret that they can hide from thee, but the Lord can hide secrets from you." But humanity can't. First Corinthians 2 and 9. But as it is written, eyes have not seen; they will not see what's out there. It's not made for you. All right. Eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh have prepared for them that love him. Come on, man. We don't know what's on these planets and galaxies. This ain't even planet, these galaxies. The planets within this is like tiny specks of dust. And each galaxy is like a tiny speck of dust amongst the universe. We have no idea fully what the Lord has for us out there in space. And Esau trying to get to it before us. He's like, you got a long way to go. 2026, you just getting started. Nah, it's over. Sorry, bro. All right. Let me get this. John 14 and 2. No, 1. Let not your heart be troubled, right? Ye believe in Yahweh. Believe also in Yahweh Shai. In my father's house are many mansions, all right? Many galaxies, many planets. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Yahweh Shai already went out there, right into the heavens. That's Revelations 5. He stood there as a man, a human being that was slain, man. He had took his flesh out there. That's, uh, our spacesuit. He already did what Esau trying to do. Went out there into space, in the spirit realm too, in the human flesh. All right. He said he goes to prepare a place for us. So the Lord been spending all that time preparing something for you, man. Each individual specifically as an Israelite. All right. And if I go right, hold on. I want to get something else real quick. Out paradise. That's what I want. Let's see something. Second Ezra 4 and 7. And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, because in the sea you got dwellings like where Leviathan dwells, all in the ocean, and great dwellings in the midst of the sea, and how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament, right? Waters, Shemayim, or which are the outgoings of paradise? How do you get into the spirit world and get back into the universe and go back into the earth and create that bridge between the two? That's what they're trying to do. All right. So the Lord got that for us, you know, the true captain of the sea, Yahweh Shai, the captain of the Shemayim, Yahweh Shai, got that for us. So I'm gonna end it with this. In my father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again. So when we see Yahweh Shai, we know that He's coming to receive us, to take us to those places that He prepared for us, and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. All right, but you got E trying to go out there and be where Yahweh Shai. You ain't got the VIP, homie. All right, so yeah, this is their plan, man. They want to bring a gateway base camp milestone by 2030, surface habitats, which goes into that nest that I showed you earlier. All right, made by the Stark Enterprise with Axiom, and they're hoping to build what? Stark's vision was to create a nest, a comfortable and friendly egg out in the middle of the universe. They could launch them into going to Mars and other planets. Who the hell want to be in that? They're like a crazy room. The crazy shit they. I would go crazy. Yo, I would lose my mind in there. The hell, you just sitting there like a baby, just. I'm gonna be boring. You just floating. Yeah, something go wrong. You just out there talking to damn AI. Look at this shit, man. These crazy people, man. Bags look fire though. All right. Anyway, so yeah, this is their plan. Which we know otherwise. We expect the Lord to bring in something new besides all this. All right. So they plan on setting the base camp up by 2030. Next year, they're trying to send humans to the moon to land on it. So Lord could bring them down here. He could bring them down here, anywhere around here. 'Cause they messing around out there in space, and Lord ain't feeling it. All right, I'm gonna end this one here, man. Hopefully it was edifying. Anybody watching, and when y'all wake up, cause I'll be up early. Uh, on the next one, man. But the Lord said, "What? Don't fret, don't be troubled when we see wicked people bring their devices allegedly to pass. All right, because the Lord appointed their bounds that they cannot pass." With that, I'm gonna say, Shalom.